Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Level Up Chronicles, where we dive deep into the dynamic world of content creation. I am your host, Schmoogly, and this is the channel that brings you inspiring stories, valuable insights, and the vibrant journeys of creators just like you. Here at Level Up Chronicles, or Luck for short, we believe that content creation is more than just luck, but rather accumulation of dedication, hard work, and of course, a little bit of luck. This isn't your average podcast. Luck is a platform that gives exposure and celebrates creators who possess that undeniable spark, the passion to turn their dreams into a living reality. We understand that success is within reach for those that want it, but often lack the exposure they need. And that is why I started this channel. So whether you're a master of Call of Duty, Minecraft, you're an extraordinary storyteller, or anything, Level Up Chronicles is for you. So today I'm here with Hempademic, recently rebranded streamer and content creator himself. So grab a seat and get ready. And here we go. What is up, brother? How is it going?
Oh, we're doing good, brother. We're doing good. Getting to finally relax after a long day of work, deliveries, doing Uber and Lyft. It can kind of take a toll on a day, especially in this heat right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the heat, I'm in Iowa, so we're really close. But the heat here was I think 80 something today, so it wasn't too bad.
I think it would have took that over today. I'm pretty sure we were 95 with a 5-mile-an-hour wind.
95. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Technically, though, I was in Iowa for about 5 seconds today. I went to Lake Carter for about 5 seconds.
Lake Carter, let's see. So obviously...
I don't know why you guys have that as the property. It's literally in Nebraska, but we're nah, you guys can have it.
Right. It's like in the hump or whatever, well, gosh, I guess I do have some questions for you. So we're gonna
open book.
We're gonna get into the questions. Some of them are gonna be pretty interesting, and hopefully you can share whatever you want to with me, as much as you want, as less as you want. That's what this is all about. So I guess tell us a little bit about your journey as a content creator. What inspired you to start creating content, and how has your journey evolved over time?
I've played games since I was 8, maybe even younger. So I first got a system, I think, from my grandma for my birthday. I think it was an OG Xbox.
There you go.
The first game on there was Madden 2005. I think I had Marshall Faulk on the cover, so that instantly I think that started my love for sports in terms of football and the Rams. I was a big Rams fan growing up. I still am, but I just don't watch as much NFL.
Right.
I ended up, playing sports growing up, doing all that, playing running back just like Marshall Faulk. He ended up being my favorite player for a long time. But I just think because of how long I played games, I just wanted to do content in terms of, and since why not?
Right.
I play all the time anyway. I mean, and I have made friends online.
Right.
Let's basically multiply that by exponential factors. And that started in, I'd say, 2015, and that was very seldom. I was finishing high school, and I was just strictly playing World of Warcraft, mostly on my laptop that was my mom's, I believe it was. And so it really wasn't meant to do streaming. So the quality, man, quality matters. Audio kills. You got to make sure everything's running right, and it just wasn't right. So I did not do that. I ended up trying on a different laptop once I went to college the next fall, and it was a little bit okay. But I fully started streaming, I'd say, in 2016, early 17. Right before my son was born, and that I started out on a kitchen table, a Walmart $50 kitchen table with a laptop, and my backdrop was a kitchen and the fridge, and you'd sometimes see my cats jumping on the damn counters. I'm just this place is a mess, brother. I don't know what you want me to do. And
do what you gotta do.
It evolves over time. There's so many different things as a creator that you want to get. You go, I need to get this, I need to get that. And, eventually I acquired certain things. And I believe in 2020, once tax season hit, everybody got that tax credit, extra thousands of dollars. And did a small dive into the pool and built my first PC, which I think has exponentially done its job, considering it was my first build. It was a 3060 build. I have an i5 10600K CPU, so like people they're like COD runs well for me. Like COD should be running well for me. Like I have a system that will run this game
Right.
properly, but it doesn't. So I don't want to hear it. Like I know I can run this.
Yeah.
I even changed out my SSD. I got a brand new SSD 3 months ago when I came to Kick. Like I was ready to rock and roll when I came to Kick. I was looking to leave Twitch.
Yeah.
Come 2021, I was ready to leave Twitch. Like I was checking out YouTube. I had no interest in Trovo. To be real with you, if you got a logo of any sort of reptile, I'm probably not gonna like really. I'm not.
Yeah. Trovo's one of those off-kiltered ones that you're like, man, do I really want to
And this
trust
isn't.
it?
It's really not even an Octotrovo. It's just like it didn't please my eye. Like it doesn't appease aesthetics, so I didn't do it.
That's fair.
I got this game room after my best friend moved out of the place we rented with the family. I'd say about close to a year ago, just under that. And I've just been involving it since, in a sense of if you'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Turn the background off here, and we've kind of
Of
evolved.
course.
I got a big old beanbag over here that's about 200 pounds. We got our sub board, and we got our
Love it.
weekly gifter of the week, or weekly featured streamer is what it says.
Incentives for the community. That's one thing.
And I'm very personable. Like my son likes to come in here. I like to show the community love off my laptop back there. It's a big support laptop.
Of course.
I call it the lurker laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got the Father's Day stuff my son made, and got to add lights, and you gotta do some things that please the eye, but you also don't want to do too much because then it takes the eye off of who you are. Because at the end of the day, I want to know who I'm talking to and who I'm watching or who I'm entertaining.
And speaking of that, you are a father and you are a family man, and you just recently quit your job in the food industry to take over trying to be a full-time. No, you will be a full-time content creator. So tell me a little bit about that. What went through your head? Why you were like, this is the right time to do it? I'm just ready to go and full steam ahead. And from what I've seen so far, you are getting there, man. It's great.
I'd say it was a culmination of just over time of kind of just doing the same thing and just wanting a more divine purpose. I'm not a super devout religious person, but I feel like there's a purpose for everybody into what they'd want to do or feel better inside about themselves doing. Growing up, I wanted to be a therapist in a sense because I had a lot of friends that had speech impediments, or I had a friend that was deaf, about 95% loss of hearing. So when he talked, it literally was like you're watching Charlie Brown. And I was one of the only people in the entire damn town that could understand him. And I think this might have been the start of my like sarcastic assholiness, if mind my French. Like,
Yeah.
because like people would be like, "What'd you say?" No, like he said this, bro. It's not that hard. Just listen.
Right.
Like, your ears can't be that bad. You're 3 years older than me, unless you got smacked in the head a couple too many times. And so it was more or less, I think, a culmination of doing food for 10 years now. I'm 26. I started young. At the age that most people should start getting that work ethic, in my opinion. I worked at a Subway at 16. I did that for 3 summers in a row. I went off to work at a Jimmy John's in college, and another Subway while I was in college. I personally enjoyed making sandwiches. It was just this low key one of those things. People be like, I want to make a coffee shop when I retire, but I'm gonna make a sandwich shop. I'll make you the best damn sandwich on the planet. I promise you.
There you go.
And, that was cool. And then I got my degree in business through community college. And when I did that, I was working at Subway, and I told him that, hey, I'm graduating with a business degree and I got like management experience. He basically had a lady that could not run the store out in a town called Gibbon. It was a small town. I could run it by myself with my work ethic I was doing. I'm a speedy guy. I like to get things done. I take pride in it, and I take pride in most everything I do.
Right.
And so he basically made me the not owner, but like the head manager of that store, and I did that until Nebraska was flooded. And that flood wiped out the entire store. Luckily, I wasn't there, but I woke up to a phone call one day saying that I was being laid off because of this happening. And it made sense. Me being a business guy, I knew that I was in a very small town, and they had a subway that was in Walmart, and they had a subway in a small town. So they're not really looking at big bucks here, okay? And they were willing to pay me about 14.50 an hour at the age of like 20, 21. So I was chill. Not even that. I think 2021. So I was kind of chilling with it. My son was about one, not even. And then I just decided, with all this time that I feel like I haven't been doing something I wanted to do. I mean, I felt happy giving people food, but and being, them being happy about it, but I just didn't feel like it was me. I just didn't feel like I was helping enough in a sense. And since I've like been growing in a sense, like this
Yep.
growth has been like in waves. It hasn't been super steady, and so to speak, but it's came in some waves, and I've been grateful for it. But I've had several people, some people that watch me regularly, and some people that kind of watch from afar. It don't bother me either way. Support is support, but
Right.
they've said that my tweets or I make their day better, or I'm glad I met you. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. I've had real life friends say that, but then there also are the same people that haven't checked on you in so long. So it's you
Yeah.
can kind of tell when it's fake love type stuff, where it's just situational or in the moment type feelings. But I decided it was just time. My brother passed away in 2012. He was a person that said a closed mouth doesn't get fed, and really, at the end of the day, what I take from that is if you want something, you're gonna say something, you're gonna go after it, type of thing.
Right.
Um, so I got onto Uber, started doing Uber. I made some pretty good money when I was doing that, and got a part-time job just to cover certain expenses. So I got a couple part-time gigs, but for the most part I'm strictly like doing content around the clock, whether I'm thinking about it while driving, or thinking of videos that can be made. Half the time, sometimes I'm even helping half my community with things that they could be doing. I have a couple people that have actually just came to kick that I have in the on Hemp Island that I've asked if they could use a couple things that I do, and I have no problem with that. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with anybody
Spread it
using
around, share it.
incentives that I use, because at the end of the day, if the incentive is that good, it's gonna work. But it also all depends on the entertainer or the creator. Like
Right.
I have one that says if I get gifted a 20 bomb, I'll delete my D4 character.
Oh no.
So if somebody wants to come
Man.
in and gift me 20 gifted subs, I'll literally delete my Diablo 4 character on Eternal. Level 47 right now. It don't bother me. I'll restart.
I mean, hey, incentives are always
Interactive.
good.
I got hit the other day with like 2 or 3 gifted fives, and that one is drop item. So I was told to drop 3 legendary items off my character. I had to replace them.
Oof. See,
One of them.
it's things like that keep your community, like involved and together. That's one thing that I've noticed when watching you and looking at your tweets is you're very much a community oriented creator, whereas you can tell authenticity right away, usually when you're watching someone and if they're being genuine about it. And that's one thing that I just noticed with your streams and also your tweets and just your Discord in general, helping everyone and stuff like that. So that's really, really good when it comes to being a creator, because some people don't realize as a creator, you're getting support from your community. If they're not there to support you, you can't do this.
Exactly. Like if I'm not, I can be a creator all day long, but I'm not going to be a successful creator, so to speak, if I don't have
Yeah.
anybody there to create for, or
Right.
anybody to influence as
Yep.
well. Um,
Yep.
you could be a streamer to 10 people on average, but 2 of those people love everything that you do with a fiery burning passion. And this is why this industry is interesting, because not to put things in the perspective of subs to followage to subs to average and stuff like that, but you could be a streamer
Right.
that has five viewers on average, but still average 100 subs a month. You know
Right.
what I mean? Those 5 people could just be some OGs that just gift you 20 a person. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
compared to a streamer that has 50 average and only about 10 of them that are like that kind of do that kind of thing. So I mean, it's all about how you treat your community, how genuine you are, and ultimately, like, what can you offer them? Because at the end of the day, you are offering them something, whether it's a mental benefit, it's a gaming benefit, it's a social benefit. There's something there, whether it's a technological learning benefit. I have quite a few people trying to, like, right now I had someone in my DMs earlier getting advice on Roblox maps.
Yeah.
And another individual talking about incentives and to keep chat involved, entertained, keep retention, because retention's hard everywhere. Jobs can't keep people to stay there because they don't like certain things, and
Yeah.
and this is even more cutthroat in that respect, because I, at any sitting moment, I have the option to go back,
Yeah. Right.
click,
Done.
bye.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I guess that's something that many aspiring creators kind of deal with, is like the self-doubt, the fear of failure, and like wanting to do this, but like that instant gratification is not always a thing, and that's really what gets people kind of discouraged. So I guess, what do you do to make sure that you're keeping motivated, you're keeping encouraged on continuing? Obviously, I think the community is a huge part for you, but like, what other things do you tell yourself to, like, I gotta do this, I just gotta keep going?
Um,
I really think
I'd
it
say
might be the community, really.
the community at this point is really what's driven it recently, but it's just been the passion of it. I understand also that I have a large investment into this entire setup, and
Yeah.
as much as I'd like that just to be, sometimes sometimes I do sit here and wish, man, I wish I could play a game offline.
Yeah.
I can't game offline no more. It's not natural to me.
Right.
I have to be on camera. I
and
7
that and
years.
that's and that's a good thing to have, though. That's a good mindset to have.
Like, and this is something think I've taken and transitioned it to Lyft,
Right.
because I don't, I introduce how we doing today, depend, you kind of also got to read the room. Where do we just pick them up from?
Yeah.
What are they kind of like, kind of understand in a sense of like what kind of uniform they're wearing. You
Right.
coming from work, you going to work, or we got plans for the weekend. What day is it? People think so linear, in my opinion, that can potentially stunt opportunities,
Yeah. They're not.
because if you just think about little things like what day of the week it is, there's certain days of the week that I see that I don't get good viewage. And it's
Right.
Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays. Those are very athletic heavy days in the summer. Baseball
Mm,
goes wild.
yeah.
The weekends, Sunday, football. Count them out. Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons, it's football time for the youngsters.
Right.
Why do I know this? Because I did it.
Right.
I did it.
Yep.
It's just a matter of, it's the same thing with when I was a manager, and this is part of the reason why I quit, because I be telling him one thing and it's just go out the other ear, even though he asked for my opinion. It just
Yeah.
didn't make sense. Like,
That's
and then
hard.
getting screwed over in terms of staff and being the one that's always putting the team on my back, so to speak. I like putting my team on the back in Call of Duty, not in real life. Okay.
I've seen that firsthand. Team on the back in Call of Duty. Absolutely. I guess anyone out there listening currently that wants to do this, but they're hesitant to do it, I guess, what is one thing you could say as a creator yourself, of how things you've learned along the way, and and how they can actually pursue this, or like what's the best thing to know when they're starting out?
Learn to ego check. And by that, I mean,
It's a big one.
jump down their throat and get on them about their ego. But when you ask a creator if you can collab, or if you want to game with somebody, hit them up. Don't be
Yes.
afraid. I actually tried connecting people that I personally have on my follow list. One of them is a pretty heavy follower, says he wants to be a number one Sea of Thieves streamer on Kick, and I believe he can do it. The dude grinds it. The dude's good at it. It's a beautiful little staff that he destroys sharks with. And
Love it.
I was like, hey, you might like this guy. And he goes, oh, I'm a new guy. Nah. What do you mean? Learn. Learn
Yeah.
from this guy. He literally just denied a potential like gained
Yeah.
viewer or friend or gaming buddy, something, just because you believe that they are more experienced and you're too new.
Right. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
a straight. You played Shoots and Ladders, right? That's a ladder, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that's definitely something that I think a lot of people are scared to do, is like reach out. The worst thing they can say is no, you know? So I mean, it's like move on to the next one. Like DMs and networking is huge. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Good. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's just yeah, right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Be known. Be known. Exactly. I was gonna say definitely I agree with that. Like face to face, like actually putting a person behind the voice is definitely very important when making a community, because a lot of times this is an escape for everyone, and like it's just good to kind of, obviously we're all in here for some of the same reasons, like we love gaming, we love content, and that's kind of how we see it, so So you have talked about Kick a lot. So that's your primary platform currently, correct?
Yeah.
And what are you streaming? What kind of games are you doing? When are you streaming?
When I'm streaming on Kick, which is the only platform I do stream on, I am trying to venture out to potential like Instagram lives or TikTok lives via my cellular device. But
Yeah,
when I am streaming, it's either just chatting. I do. It's more getting to know newcomers and getting to chat with the already existing community, asking how their day is. A lot of us are, we know about each other's families, asking each other how they are.
yeah,
When I start the stream, it's in video chat, just like this is.
yep,
So usually I could have anywhere from 3 to 8 people in there, just getting to know each other at the moment with how the community's sitting, which is amazing. The Discord's only 2.5 months old,
Oh
so
wow, wow, very very
having
new.
upwards to 300 members in it already, and being as young as it is with how much activity is in there, I think is a blessing. And I also be playing Apex, Call of Duty, a lot of Diablo lately. I've been a lot of Diablo 4. I have several other games such as like Rainbow Six Siege, Demonologist, Fortnite. Um, I occasionally hop on to the gold coin stake to just dick around and just chat with everybody.
Love it. Yeah,
No, I ain't spending no real money. I'm too broke for that.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
a lot of it comes down to just ultimately just interaction. Like really, that's all I'm
yeah,
aiming for in any game. That's why my incentives are really set up for Diablo. But I also do. I interact with every single follower by doing squats. Someone actually didn't think I'd do squats the other day. He actually is, so to speak, a Twitch researchist, so to speak. Yeah,
of
he came
course.
over. He straight up told me. He said, I'm coming over researching, trying to see if I want to switch content creators and all this." And he loves the vibes of my channel, which I graciously support. He actually joined my Discord, which is pretty
Amazing.
dope.
Yeah,
Getting people to join my Discord before about a month and a half ago was somewhat of a struggle. This past month or so, it's been a lot easier. I think that comes in the support of the mods that I have. A lot of them actually do drop the commands in chat when I talk about them or I speak of them. So
yeah,
anytime I'm speaking of Discord or socials or subs or the charity initiative that we're getting ready to start in July, they generally are dropping the commands that are involved to those. So I
that's
believe it
awesome.
shows more interaction to the chat as well.
Yeah, that's great to have people in there that are actually like wanting people to join and be supportive. That's amazing.
And I know a lot of people. I know my community, not the newer people, but I know that my community, the
Mhm.
ones that were over there on Kick, is the moment I learned it was 95.5, and I learned about the monetary
Yes,
equations and what it outputs to and all of that. I said that depending on the growth and how it goes, I'll pay my mods. There's a certain percentage I'll pay the mods, but
mhm,
it's you got to be active. I'm not gonna
yeah,
I'm not gonna have a dead mod be getting paid $20 or $30.
right,
You better go mow somebody's lawn if you want to get some weed.
right, right. Yeah, no, and that's another thing that people don't realize is like sometimes content creators do it all on their own, and sometimes they have people that are helping. But I notice one thing you do is you love to raid out after every stream. I mean, that helps someone that might not even be a part of your community too. And that's good exposure for other people or people that you're trying to find more people to come watch you too. I mean, they, like you said, they see your name come across, Hempademic rated you or hosted you.
Yeah, I actually, ever since coming to Kick, I've been fortunate to not be able to host out one time. So the 5 minimum that is required to host out, I have not hit that one time. So every single stream has been 5 or more.
Yeah, amazing.
For reference,
Yep.
I barely could hit 10 for a max on Twitch, on top of barely hit 3 to 4 for regular stream. So 5 being the low bar
Right.
is immense for me. And not being able to host out is actually earth shattering to me. So the one time that I was not able to, I actually went to bed pissed off.
Yeah, I mean that's a detrimental thing. Detrimental,
Like
detrimental thing.
Yeah, I got
Thank
you.
you, Lord. Okay.
But like, you can't let that kind of stuff eat at you, because at the end of the day, I looked back at it. I started late. It was a bad
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
People life. So that's what I'm saying. You got to think about the day it was.
So it's
You got
all
to think
about
about
your
what time it
mental.
is.
Your
You
mental
know,
too is important, So.
and I also noticed, I used to stream godly hours, 6, 7, 8 hour streams. After 1 hour, the exposure is peaking its maximum. So if you tweet, you got 1 hour until it's fully going to be pushed out. At that point, if it's after an hour, everybody's seen it, probably retweet it after 3 hours if you stream that long. If you
Right.
stream 5 hours, I have a high average if that's what you're going for. If you're going for increased average, go keep something that's above what your current average is.
Right.
If you're going to go longer than 3-4 hours. Otherwise, 3-4 hours is a solid number for you to sustain a steady growth, so to speak.
Right. And I think
Cat was doing something back there. I was like, what the
I was like, oh no, what's going on? And one thing to go on top of that, I think that is something that is just a misconception between the new creators coming in. Is I need to stream 8 hours a day, I need to stream 9 hours a day. That's definitely not the case. I mean, being a creator myself, like, it's talking to other creators, it's networking, it's being in Discord, it's like, editing clips and stuff. I see you're very active on Twitter. Are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? Like, is it more so you're networking on Twitter and that's how you're doing it, or what?
My growth is strictly, and I've noticed this from the moment Kick went fully public.
Yeah,
is Twitter to Kick growth is direct, and you can't tell me it's not right now. Instagram has no freaking idea about Kick.
Yeah, Twitter's huge.
Instagram is huge, yeah, but the thing is it's not for gamers. It's not.
Yeah.
It's for beauticians, it's for models, it's for products and companies. It's for things that are meant to be images over videos.
That's fair.
Or a blogger. If you're a vlogger, then that's for you. Sure, at that point for us, that's where it comes into being a vlogger and influencer.
Right.
Like, I do it to Twitter. My foods, I post my foods on Twitter all the time. People love seeing the nachos I bring home, or maybe the Bavarian cream churro that I had the other night, and stuff like that. Like, people are foodies at the end of the day. They love seeing good food because at the end of the day, they want good food. Just like at the end of the day, they want good entertainment. So if you provide good food, if you can provide good entertainment, I'm pretty sure you can find some good growth.
Yeah, I think, and for a lot of people, it is just, an escape after work. I mean, that's really just what it is, hanging out with the same vibe kind of people, and just hanging out and loving and enjoying games together, So.
And I feel the same way in a sense about TikTok. Their algorithm is kind of all over the wall. I don't see a real steady growth that comes in there. Honestly, more times than not, I see toxicity come from the platform in terms of negative comments. 12-year-olds thinking they know better than the older folks in their lives, when really they've got a C- in science and an A- in gym. How do you have an A- in gym? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's
So I just use YouTube and Twitter and Kick. I also dabble with the whole editing side of things, and more or less beneficial, helping tutorial type stuff.
Right. So speaking of like creation in general, is there any like tools that you use or softwares that you use that you would recommend to like a new creator? Because when you're kind of getting into it, this is a lot of like technical stuff, and if someone's new and they can't just start up a PC and be a creator, they actually have to kind of know some stuff. So is there any specific tools that you use that you think would help others in general?
For editing, I use ClipCut. I would use that because it's basic. It's really not too in depth. You can do transitions. They have some pretty cool transitions for free. Um, they do have even better ones, obviously, for the pro membership or the premium that it is, but I've never got that. You do need to manually set it or change your view of the video
Okay.
if you're going to do shorts, because if you they'll zoom far in on it instead of being the whole view, it'll be in like a YouTube frame instead of the
okay, vertical format.
instead of vertical format. So if that's what you're looking for, you'd have to adjust to vertical format. But if nobody has heard about the recent Streamlabs integration with Kick,
Oh wow,
there's actually a
amazing.
Streamlabs clip button on the clips on Kick. If you go look at your clips, there's going to be a
Wow.
button next to the bottom right. I can't remember exactly what button it is, but it's a picture of Streamlabs, and it's going to have a couple little lines on there.
Wow, that's a
And this is going to
huge
open up
new
your clips.
integration. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to open up your clip, and here's the kicker. Okay, you know that cool little TikTok format where it has your camera and it has the gameplay?
Of course.
Automatically does it. Just to set the frames how you want them
Love
set,
it.
hit save, and at that point, it just makes the clip for you. It only does it in 30 frames per second, so I'm not exactly sure how the quality sits in terms of other items, but 30 frames per second, I'm pretty sure is set for phones. So it is directly set for shorts.
A lot of people are scrolling on their phones. That's amazing. That's great.
I actually made a clip for it with it the other day just to test it out, and it actually doesn't look too bad.
I actually use Atom, if you know what Atom is. It's by Harris Heller, if you know Harris Heller. He content creator on YouTube, Twitch, and he actually came up with a vertical format directly plug-in integrative through OBS called Atom. And I mean, you can clip stuff and record it there. So I'll have to give you some info on that too. That's definitely a great one. Just
said OBS
directly through OBS. Yeah. So, but that's great. I know Kick is doing a lot of good things for the creators, and just recently, signed XQC. So that was huge for them. And obviously, they love to tweet out a bunch of interesting things that are coming soon. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, the transparency and the vocalness of the staff is very, very warranted. Having staff being able to come in and at least tell you, hey, this might be a DMCA strike if you don't stop doing this type of thing, helps creators at least understand that this is not allowed. More times than not, people need to understand that if it's a popular TV show, you can't do it. Like, even if it's your logo.
Yes.
I'm sorry, all our Dragon Ball Z fans. If you get big, you got to change it, bro.
Yeah,
because they will come after you. If you start making millions or you make thousands off of having a Dragon Ball Z character, or like me, my old Sonic name, that's why I rebranded.
I was just about to ask. You were Lacronic Hempog and rebranded to Hempademic, and that makes sense now. You're growing. You're getting into the portion of you could be, in trouble for having that sort of logo. So that makes sense.
And if you want me to be completely honest, I think that's potentially why I've been looked at in terms of more professional accounts. I had a couple people tag me and another streamer that I know in an organization saying, tag creators below. We're looking for 4 creators who you guys believe are underrated and should be signed to the team, type of thing. And the owner himself commented underneath of it and said, I can agree. So, I mean, that to me just shows that I've been seen, or I'm being watched, or eyes are being put on me and other people that I know in my circle, which is, I like that. And that's the thing, is people go, oh, you're growing. And I'm like, okay, but is my community growing? Are other people growing? My mod, he states that he's growing. He says he's growing because of what's going on. His Twitter is a little more active, it seems, when he's staying around some of the stuff that I'm doing. And some people be like, well, that's just clout chasing. No, it's not. Look at Mr. Beast and all of his homies, bro.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've brought up with my friends and stuff is like, look, if I'm succeeding, you're gonna succeed too. Like, I'm not gonna forget about you. Like, we're in this together. I mean, showed me things, I've showed you things, and it's all like, I'm not, like in this, you can't be a selfish person because people will know right away, and that's huge.
And like the thing is too is like with the way that some of these people, these extremely successful creators, receive subs and income and sponsorships and all this. I live in a state where, if I really wanted to meet somebody, a part of my community, I'm centrally located. A drive isn't bad for me. I'm a creator. I can turn that into an IRL stream. At that point, a loyal fan base is just going to enjoy a IRL stream of everybody. At that point,
Yeah,
most people know about my family. Like, you already have my girlfriend partially just over here watching TV on an iPad.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a regular thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for instance, we got my main mod, Mesa DA, and he's moving to Colorado. He's down in Missouri. I got one in Kansas, one mod in
See,
Kansas, one mod in Oklahoma. I got one mod that lives down the block from me.
crazy.
I just had a creator message me today that actually he looks like he's got some numbers to his name.
Yep.
He's from Lincoln. He currently is in my hometown going to college. So
See, that's amazing. Like you said,
uh,
if you don't reach out, if you don't meet these people, it's hard to do it on your own. It's lonely to do it on your own. So it's good to have these connections.
yeah, and I know like Hot Pizza. We all know who Hot Pizza is. That guy Tyler. He's relatively close to me as well. I can go see him.
See,
Like, if I
amazing
really wanted to have like a little Hemp Island festivity
reunion.
event, it
Yeah,
could just
there you
literally just be done at a local park here, and it's like if there's enough events, honestly, in Lincoln that people could come here. Like, I'm also a big camper. Like, I haven't gone camping in a long time, but me and her would love to be camping. We've talked about taking trips, Airbnbs, about meeting up and stuff. Like going to
see.
Colorado. It's a 420 community, so Colorado would be a
Yeah,
perfect place for all of us.
right. And that's one thing about this, just like gaming online. Like, I've known people for so long, and it's like, if I were to ever go into any state, I know someone from like every state and can always meet up with them. Like, that's just something crazy that, I would have never met you and known you if we didn't connect on Twitter and connect on Call of Duty, and you're 3 hours away. Like, that's just crazy. And like, it's just wild to me that there's so many people that you don't actually, personally know, that you talk to every single day, and they're just so close. And honestly, with creation, a lot of these times these people are more genuine and authentic than some people in your own life, so
Yeah,
it's
and
it's kind of crazy.
it kind of goes to with how how small the planet can be, and how small the world can be, but how big it can be at the same time. Because I'm meeting creators now that I'm booming in terms of Twitter. That some have said they're from Lincoln, some have still like live in Lincoln now. That I don't fully connect with at the moment. Maybe we can link up, collab something in the future. But
Yeah,
they've commented on things saying, "Oh, I'm from Lincoln," and like I've been on Twitter for years in this area. Like, it's not regional based. Twitter is literally global. So those people had defined me through the similar interests of it all. It's all ultimately everything comes down to similar interests and being genuine.
yeah, absolutely. Well, gosh, we went over a lot. I really appreciate you coming on my first podcast. We're running on about 45 minutes here, it looks like, so I think we'll probably wrap it up. But is there anything really you have coming up anytime soon that you want the listeners and the viewers to know about? Any sort of I know you were talking about in July you have a charity event coming up.
Yeah, so basically, with me diving into the deep end of the pool and going full time and doing the Uber, Lyft, and part time work. I do morning, part time, weekend work. I might open up a little bit and do more days,
Yeah,
like in terms of morning work. But I, I think I'm done with the weekend streams, and I'm doing networking, socializing, just
yeah,
basic getting to know the community, catching up, connecting. Instead of taking time out of that on top of editing, taking the weekend more or less to myself, maybe watch a movie with the family. But changing the schedule where I'm not worried about streaming in the day anymore. I'm really not.
Yeah.
As much as I want the homies that can stream in the day, that can watch me during the day, to watch me. Eventually, I'm gonna have to either see if they can just throw a lurk and eventually see me here and there or anything of that nature, just to give support because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna support them even if they can't make it.
Right.
Especially if just for a simple reason of okay, I work at that time or I have to sleep around that time. But so I'm trying to make strictly making it weekdays 9 p.m. Central of my stream times. No weekends. Every Friday we're gonna do what I'm calling Falling Fridays, and
Love
it's
it.
community Fall Guys. Anybody's more than welcome to join us. It's a fun game. My son has been learning how to play it himself. If we get to the point, I might just do a stream with him playing with us.
Love it. Yeah.
Might do some interactive stuff and say if the 5-year-old, if the 6-year-old beats you, you get booted from the group.
I love that. That's insane.
Dude, this kid's pretty intense at Fall Guys. I've seen him qualify. I was playing last night. I was getting trophies because he's qualifying. I'm like, bro, what is happening? We're getting back into terms of viewer games. I'm trying to get people to come in and just connect, play games with the community. So I'm thinking about doing a Wednesday, Thursday Warzone to Diablo switch off. So we start off our stream with viewer games in the Warzone. Once we do an hour or two of that, we go over to Diablo for an hour or two. I generally have been doing 4-hour streams lately. Sometimes they're 5. You want to stay active in terms of getting your name out there because during that 4 to 5 hours that you're live, your name kind of just gets pushed down more and more if you're not being active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to do top of the hour spotlight, keep my name fresh in channels on Kick. I believe that personally has brought growth and just remembrance to my channel. I think that's why I got hit with 5 hosts the other night and within 30 minutes. Because I do something called top of the hour spotlight, where we go around every hour that we are live to another creator stream, trying to bridge that gap between creators of which they don't know how to network, so to speak. Like I was saying earlier, I'm new to the game. He's experienced. That's probably not a good match. No, that's probably a perfect match, but that's fine. That's your choice. You're not required to follow no creator that we go check out with top of the hour spotlight. I do ask that you check out the vibes. You do, and all of that. It's just all about bridging that gap and helping others find others to play with. I know it can be a difficult bridge to circumvent sometimes.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, to finish off, we are starting the charity initiative in July. Hopefully, I just got to get a little email made up, so to speak, for the stream. I want to get an email made up for the stream, so to speak, a new one that's under the brand Hempademic or Hemp Island 1 or 2. Right. I'm wanting to call it Hemp Island Charity Initiative, so to speak. And it's basically a free will donation I'm going to put in my chat as an exclamation donate. There's going to be 2 commands. Exclamation charity kind of explains what it is. Exclamation donate will pop up the link and then allow you to allow you to donate to a charitable cause. Right now, I'm still kind of in the works of whether or not I just want to do a full vote at the beginning of the month on Twitter as to what charity we go for, or just go start at the end of the month, accumulate the funds, and then say a vote on the one. But I feel like if we vote and then do it, it's going to drive more viewage, more influence in terms of people wanting to actually donate to it and actually do a good thing for a good cause, instead of it being, okay, this could go to a donation I don't like. But which at the end of the day is kind of a shitty thing to say. Like, if you want to donate, just donate. But
right, it's still going to a good cause regardless. Yeah. But, awesome. I mean, that's huge. That top of the hour thing that you have on your stream, that's amazing. What you just brought up and what we just talked about, like, that's something that I feel like is super new, super fresh, that not a lot of people are doing, and that really spreads it out.
It's what I wanted to kind of get to, like, because I know a lot of people, they do the whole watching other kick streamers. They go around, watching them, showing love to them and all that. But like, that's not the focus. Like the focus is getting to know my community, and I'm playing games, doing what I want to do. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I want to help like bridge that gap. So that's why we do it once every hour. I mean, if the vibes are, like we got caught on a dude one night, his vibes are so good. Like we do it only
I stayed in there
10 to
longer.
15 minutes. Yeah, we did it for 10 to
Yeah.
15 minutes. We were in there for a half hour.
Yeah. See, I mean,
Twice as long as we normally are. 3 times as long, honestly.
right.
So like I was like, this dude has good vibes. I looked at the time. I was like, we were in here for 30 minutes, and my views didn't go down. Nothing. That's arbitrary, but you kind of
Yeah.
that's the stuff you see in the
Right.
peripheral vision. Your views up and down. We all know about the view bug that drops you to 0 in 0.5 seconds. Like,
Right.
it's all in beta, but it's all things that are hindsight. You just got to stay on your grind.
Yeah.
It's just if this is something what you really want to do, then you're gonna be here to do
You're
it.
gonna grind. You're gonna do it. Yeah, and you're definitely doing that, and that's awesome. And that's definitely why I kind of reached out to you, because I love seeing what you're doing, and thank you. I really appreciate it for you being my first guest on this podcast.
No, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. So everyone listening, go check out Hempademic live nightly. And if you guys are listening to this or watching this, I mean, and you're in his stream, let him know you came from this podcast, Level Up Chronicles podcast, and hopefully we can get more people in here and more people to, come see Hempademic. And yeah, brother, it was really good to have you on.
No, thank you, brother. Thank you. Everybody, be sure to drop some love to Schmoogly here. He's gonna be pulling on some fantastic creators here in the future. I already know it.
Yes,
I'm the first, but I'm definitely not gonna be the last. There's gonna be some other great people that you talk to here.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, that is it for us. Have a wonderful night, and we will catch you on the next episode.